All right. So the Rangers lose 4-3 to the Florida Panthers, unfortunately in regulation, so the Rangers couldn't even salvage a point out of this one. Um what a infuriating, absolutely infuriating game. I mean, they really just like there's so much that bothered me. The fact that watching them anytime they had a breakaway was more painful than watching September baseball for the New York Mets was a problem. The fact that they simply just didn't play good enough defensively, especially in that second period, absolute dumpster fire of a defensive effort in that second period. They allowed way too much. I mean, they did all night, but especially that second period. The first period, they got played around with the entire time. And then the offense just pretty much no show in the third period. And the offense in general was just infuriating all night when it comes to multiple things. The thing that annoyed me the most with the offense tonight is that there was way too much of one and done opportunities. Way too many times where if they did get a cycle, they did get a forecheck, which was rare in this game because the forecheck was horrendous. Florida just outworked them and outcompeted them along the boards all night. There was really no forecheck, but the few times they did, and the few times they did get a cycle, they would get a shot and it would just be, all right, well, I guess we got to play defense now. Not enough chasing rebounds, not enough creating havoc, not enough creating opportunities in general. The offense, I thought, left way too much to be desired. And you know what? Credit to Sergei Bobrovsky, who stopped a lot of the rush chances that the Rangers got. But the Rangers, some of their chances that they had on the rush and some of the shots on the rush, Chris Kreider just tries to go 5-hole on the breakaway. Bobrovsky read that all the way. He's not stupid. Jimmy Vesey had a chance alone too. Like, there was just way too much slop at points in this game. And then watching this team attempting to move the puck all night, come on. The breakout passes, I wanted to vomit. And then just terrible. I don't understand. This dates back a while now. I cannot understand why they have an obsession for trying to force the stretch pass. I can't understand it. It resulted in icings, and then it resulted in them getting out competed in their own end after these icings, and then Florida had pressure and had the offensive zone shifts. Just they out competed them. It was just that simple. Florida was way more. They put the work in more. Whether it was a loose puck battle, whether it was a board battle, whether it was capitalizing on the opportunities the Rangers gave them, Florida just gave more of an effort. And you could argue Jonathan Quick maybe should have stopped one of those goals. I'm not there personally. I'm not there, considering this team allowed 14 high danger chances in this game at 5v5. Can't do that. Can't expect your goalie to bail you out on a night like that. You just can't. And it's just infuriating, this team on a night-to-night basis. You don't know what you're going to get. You really don't know. Good on them for exploiting some of the flaws that Florida had on their defense. But again, you have to capitalize on those opportunities, man. I'm not tipping my cap too much to Sergei Bobrovsky here because of the fact that the Rangers just didn't get good enough chances on these rush opportunities. Like the Lafreniere one was good. I'll give credit to Bobrovsky on the save there. There was, I think, another one where Mika, they double shifted Panarin in the third period, I want to say it was. And Panarin set up Mika for a chance. That ended up being gloved, but still way too much left. And then special teams. Oh, special teams. Good on the Rangers for getting a shorthanded goal. What's going on with the power play lately? What's going on with the power play? You could argue that's another reason they lost this game. One team was opportunistic on their power play. The other team wasn't. The Rangers don't know what happened on the power play there. No shots on goal on one of your power plays. Grow up. And how about the constant trying to force east-west plays instead of playing straight ahead? You know it's bad when Joe Micheletti's calling it out in the booth. That's how you know it's bad. How about getting the puck in, working, and winning a board battle and then getting set up and cycling? But there was none of that. There was no willingness to compete. There was no willingness to dump the puck in and get in on the forecheck. There was no willingness for that tonight. That's why I'm upset, because it felt like they just simply didn't want to compete tonight. And Florida just dominated them that much in the first period that they were scared to get along the boards and compete in certain battles tonight. While Florida, they were just getting away at those battles and creating pressure. And then anytime the Rangers wanted to break the puck out, Florida created havoc and did not make their breakouts easy. And then the Rangers, what they did, they would get their opportunities on offense, and then they would just sit back instead of creating more havoc. That was just the difference there. So tonight, just simply not strong enough of an effort. Just simply not strong enough from of an effort from the Rangers. You had a team that was willing to compete versus a team that just wasn't willing to compete. The Rangers have to bring their game against Tampa tomorrow and play a lot better, because this type of effort will not fly against Tampa tomorrow. No, will it not fly against Tampa tomorrow? And will they get into a rhythm and play a better game tomorrow? I don't know. I do not know. But as for tonight, because that's the concern, and we're evaluating tonight, just putrid. Just putrid. Yeah. Before we jump further into the recap, leave a like on the post-game show if you haven't already. We have 30 of you in here, and we have how many likes? Sorry, I just want to... I appreciate that. I'd appreciate if you guys would subscribe. We're on the road to 2K subscribers, so I really would appreciate every single one of you. But yeah, first period. I mean, the first period was just really embarrassing. Like, you know, the second period, I say, was their worst defensive period, but at least they were going toe-to-toe with the chances that Florida was getting. The first period, they got outcompeted so bad in that first period. So bad. Lindgren has a good block after a brutal turnover by Jimmy Vesey. Miller, terrible turnover by him as Cousins gets a chance in front of the net. Denied, and then Quick makes that scorpion save on Luostarinen. Good on Jonathan Quick. Had the save of the year there. And again, Jonathan Quick kept them in this game as much as he could. Stenglund went off for a trippy penalty. The Rangers get a little bit of a break there because they were getting annihilated at that point in the game. The breakouts were just non-existent. They were just horrendous, and Florida was just clogging them in that neutral zone. And the power play got killed off relatively easily. Just brutal puck movement on that power play. And the second unit had a couple of looks, but simply not enough. And then a good rush chance from Panarin to Trocheck to Fox and back to Panarin on the back pass, and that ended up being stopped. And the Rangers kept going on that shift. That was probably their best shift at that point in the game. The second line, they were definitely productive tonight, and they were really the line that impressed me the most. Panarin had to get double shifted because of how putrid guys like Blake Wheeler were. Chris Kreider, terrible game from him tonight. We'll talk more about that. I mean, that first line in general, Mika Zibanejad, probably the best part of that line, still wasn't good enough. Wheeler and Kreider were invisible. They were invisible, and that was scary. That was scary. Panarin had to get double shifted, and you know what? Good on that line, though, for making work, but it circles back to the conversation we had at the beginning of the year. What happens when that line's the only one producing? Quick then has another big stop on Lomberg as Fox got flat-footed. That wasn't the first time Fox got flat-footed tonight. He was just... I didn't love Adam Fox's game. I really did not like Adam Fox's game tonight. And am I worried about him? No, but there was a couple plays. Was he horrendous? No, I just didn't particularly love his game. It just wasn't Adam Fox-like, in my opinion. But he was their best defenseman tonight, probably still. He was probably still their best defenseman tonight. But a couple times where he was just getting flat-footed. Kreider got denied on a breakaway opportunity, tries to go 5-hole there. Trocheck denied on a rush chance. Lafreniere, the rebound was out of reach for him. Trocheck then goes off for an offensive zone hooking penalty. Before that, they missed the call. The refs were atrocious tonight. I'm with people on that, but at the same time, you got to show me more of a willingness to compete before I could blame the refs. But there was one play where I will agree that the refs horseshit in that third period, which we'll get to with the Lafreniere one. And that could have sunk a lot of life out of the Rangers, and that could have changed a lot of the game. But again, we'll talk more about that. Miller with a good pass breakup on the penalty kill. Quick with a nice stop on Rodriguez in the slot. That penalty gets killed off. Then Panarin to Lafreniere on an odd man rush. That got denied. That was probably the Rangers' best chance of that period. Barkov with a shot stop. The rebound was kept away from Reinhart, but Florida would make it 1-0 as there's 3 guys on the boards and Florida just wins that board battle. Wheeler ends up turning it over too. Rodriguez gets behind Schneider. Gustafsson not even challenging Rodriguez in front of the net. He goes blocker side, and that makes it 1-0. So, yeah, I mean, it was bound to happen with the way that first period went, that Florida was going to get on the board there first and that they were going to be up 1-0 at the very least after that period. Trocheck got a shot, gloved by Bobrovsky on another rush chance by that line, but just not a good enough first period. The Rangers had a couple of rush chances, didn't capitalize enough, and didn't get enough quality chances on that. Florida just was the better team that period. The forecheck, really not there at all. The breakouts, not there. That continued throughout the night, unfortunately, in the neutral zone play. Florida was just clogging them in the neutral zone. They couldn't break the puck through at all. I felt like they played way too soft that period, the Rangers. The second period, hey, at least they showed me something offensively, I guess, if you want to take a positive away from that. Coley to Brzezinski, that shot got stopped. VC denied on a breakaway after a good defensive play. Wheeler with a breakaway chance denied. So the Rangers come out in the second period and look like they were going to get back into this game. And, you know, good on Quick. He ended up keeping them in that game despite the poor play at points in that first period. And you thought, all right, maybe Jonathan Quick did his job, kept them in, and the Rangers could get going in the period. Fox to Lafreniere on a rush chance. He hits the crossbar. And then Panarin tries to stuff in the rebound. Bobrovsky stops that. Barkov steals the puck from Keandre Miller, who couldn't keep control of it, and he got a chance alone. He run the crossbar himself. And then it would be 2-0 as Barkov has a nice pass to Reinhart, and Reinhart taps that in. Not good enough coverage from Keandre Miller there, and Jacob Trouba nowhere to be found on the play. That makes it 2-0. Jacob Trouba was a dumpster fire tonight. More on him later on. Brzezinski with a chance stopped at the what am I trying to say? Brzezinski with a chance stopped. After that, Lindell went off for a roughing penalty. That was the power play that was terrible. Terrible power play. Too much east-west. No shots on goal. Sorry, you're not going to win a hockey game when your power play is that ineffective. You're just not. Miller tries to force a stretch pass yet again. Florida's top line gets some chances after that, and Quick ends up making a couple of good stops, but the Rangers would make it 2-1 as a breakout after a board battle was intercepted there by Ryan Lindgren, who chipped it in, sets up Lafreniere, who sets up Artemi Panarin to score, and that makes it 2-1. Quick then a big stop on Sam Bennett after the goal, as Fox and Lindgren got flat-footed yet again. And then it would be 2-2, though, afterwards, as Keandre Miller on his next shift. Keandre Miller. Good on him for making up for it a bit there, I guess. But he has a good takeaway, creates a odd man rush opportunity, and he feeds Will Cooley, who ends up tying the game up at 2. So definitely exciting there. And you thought, you know, all right, maybe the Rangers could clean things up. Maybe they could keep their foot on the gas and stay in the game. VC got a rush chance denied. Schneider goes off for an interference penalty. I know people aren't happy about it. I think it's the right call. I think it was interference, but at the same time, in the third period, I think it was Ekblad that did a similar thing, and they just called nothing on that. I digress. Reinhart walks in. He got his shot denied. Then it would be 3-2, though, as on the power play. Barkov with a high slot shot, and then Reinhart just tips it in. Lindgren not even really making an effort to clear traffic there. That makes it 3-2. Then the Rangers did get more chances. Panarin steals the puck in the offensive zone, fires high on the shot. Fox with a good keep in, and Panarin hesitates to shoot, so Montour makes a defensive play. But Panarin had a very good night. Just sucks that not enough help really around him on the offensive side of things. Awful play then again by Adam Fox, again, who got flat-footed in the neutral zone. Reinhart took a chuck on an odd man rush. Thankfully, he fanned on that. left with a good play to get the puck, and he fires wide on the breakaway. But just another brutal period defensively. At least you could hang your hat on the offense, like I said, that period. But defensively, you're allowing 7 high danger chances. Not good. Not good. And then the third period comes along, and just not a good third period, really, at all for the offense. Forsling with a chance stopped. Fox tries to deflect the Panarin chance and couldn't. Panarin to Mika. Shot gets gloved there. Panarin to Trocheck denied. The Panarin double shifting, though. Love the idea there. Verhaeghe gets stopped in front after Trouba lets him get behind, and then he hits the crossbar too after he gets another chance in the slot. Terrible work by that defensive pair. That pretty much was a theme all night. Florida gets a chance in front. Then Brodzinski gets one from Schneider the other way. That got denied. Miller with a nice block on Verhaeghe. Then Barkov takes an elbow to the head. Lafreniere, they ruled a major and reverse it to a minor penalty. Why is that a penalty? Why is that a penalty? Anybody have an answer? Because all I saw was a guy going to compete for the puck, and it was just a little collision. Unfortunate that a guy got hurt on that. What are we doing? What are we doing calling that a penalty? And I thought when the Rangers scored shorthanded, Mika to Kreider, back to Mika, snipes it, tied at 3. I thought right then and there, karma, and I thought the Rangers were going to win the game. I really did. And then shortly after, 4-3. Jacob Trouba, what are you doing? What are you doing? He tries to chip the puck out instead of dumping it to finish killing off the penalty. Then he goes chasing the puck. Ryan Lindgren follows. Gaudreau's stick breaks on the play, and Verhaeghe with a shot as the penalty ends, and he scores. 4-3. Then he follows it up on his next shift with another bad breakout. Thankfully, the play was offsides on that. Trocheck fires wide on a chance. The Rangers really had nothing when they pulled the goalie, though. They really didn't have anything, and it's just aggravating. That first line, what are we doing? What are we doing? That first line was embarrassing with the effort that they put together tonight. Chris Kreider was a ghost. He was. Wheeler, not effective at all. Zibanejad made a lot of boneheaded plays, but at least he got on the score sheet. You could thank him for that at least. Still inexcusable play from that line. Those 3 were inexcusable tonight. You're not going to win hockey games when your first line plays that bad. You're not. The third line was not great either. Nick Bonino and Barclay Goodrow. What are we talking about with these two? I'm so tired of Barclay Goodrow. I truly am. And I know people hate that I complain about him and think he's doing his role. If you're giving him a pass for tonight, then you might want to give your head a scratch. I'm sorry, but he was horrendous tonight. Barclay Goodrow, I can't with him. He finds new ways to aggravate me. Not that his line mates are getting off the hook either. Tyler Pitlick. I mean, the fourth line as a whole, not a great night. I only saw really compete from a couple guys. I liked what I saw from that second line. Loved what I saw from the second line. They had a very good effort. Will Coley, loved what I saw from him. Brodzinski had a good game. Just unfortunate that Nick Bonino is like, imagine Filipino was here on that line. Imagine Filipino was here on that line. And a little update on Filipino in case any of you missed the news. According to Larry Brooks, I think it was, who broke the news, he's going back to the Czechia to continue his recovery and rehab. Sounds like to me he's not going to be back for a very long time. Oh boy. Oh boy. I got to watch Nick Bonino play the 3C for about another month or 2. Hey, at least we're only like 10 weeks away from the trade deadline. Like, crazy how we're only like 10 weeks away, but still way too long. Way too long. Outside of that, don't know if I could really hang my hat on anyone else having a good night. Don't really know if I could. But the main guy that was really garbage tonight was Jacob Trouba. Jacob Trouba. I don't know. Don't even know what to say. He was a tire fire tonight. He just simply was. That's the unfortunate thing, and hopefully it's not due to like an injury from that collision he had with Wilson, but he claimed to wake up feeling fine. He claimed to be fine. If you're fine and you're in the lineup, you need to play better hockey. Sorry, I'm not giving you a pass for, oh, maybe you're banged up. No, you're in the lineup. You think you're healthy enough. Go out there and give a better effort. And if you aren't healthy, sit your ass in the press box. Sorry, that's just the way it is. But I digress. You hope they rebound tomorrow against Tampa. One could hope, but you had a lot of guys that were just disappointing tonight, and I felt just didn't compete and give a good enough effort tonight. That's my takeaway. That's my opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but that's just what I saw tonight. That's just how I felt tonight. But before we jump further into the recap, if you haven't left a like already, please do. We're at about 40 viewers. We're at 16 likes. I'd appreciate if we could get to at minimum 50. I'd appreciate too if everyone can subscribe if they have not already. We are getting close to 2K. We're about 100 away. So I'd appreciate anyone that subscribes if they have not already. But yeah, let's get to the chat though now. Let's get to the chat and see what you guys think about this game. Laugh for MVP. I don't know how to feel about this one because part of me wants to think that we were off our game, missed so many chances, and only lost by one. The other hand, the same defensive issue showed up. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. People could take the game the way they want to. To me, it's just more of the defense being exploited tonight. Like against Washington, they played pretty poorly in that first period. They were good after. They were good for the most part after that, but they didn't have a good first period against Washington. Washington didn't really make them pay for it. Tonight, they had a bad first period. Florida made them pay a bit, and then they had a terrible second period, and Florida really made them pay for it. And again, you just didn't get anything from your power play, which has been a little concerning over the past week or so. The power play has definitely looked very sloppy over the past week or two. So Peck is going to have to get into the video room with the power play group and draw up something better, because I'm not seeing enough at all. And I'm just seeing guys that are trying to have a passing clinic. Even with the two terrible ref calls, the defense was piss poor the whole night, as evident by not using momentum of the shorthanded goal and at least hanging on for 6 minutes to scrap out 1 point. Bingo, Nicole. Bingo. This comment, yeah. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. It's hard to get mad entirely at the refs when, you get the shorthanded goal, and that should give you life. That should give you a spark, and then you just make more boneheaded plays. Yep, defense was a problem along with missing on breakaways, yeah. This is why this team can't be considered an elite team. Elite teams aren't this inconsistent defensively. I think you meant to say aren't this inconsistently defensively. Guys like Trouba, Lindgren, Keandre, and Schneider were brutal, yeah. Yep. I would throw Gustafsson up there a bit too. I didn't like his game. I just thought the whole defense as a unit didn't play good, and I thought as a team they just didn't play good. Why can't they have more skill on breakaways and put some sort of dekes or something to make the goalie have to actually make a save instead of just shooting into their chest? That would make too much sense. That's really the only answer I have for you, Nicole, on that one, unfortunately. Miller's inconsistency is a huge problem. Also, he has nights where he plays like a beast and shows how special he is. And then others where he's like, this is what I have been hammering home time and time again. And not just me. Philk on Big Apple Hockey. If you're not subbed to Big Apple Hockey, go check them out. They put in good work there. I don't know if Philk's in the chat right now, but shout out to him. He's been saying it too. Statboy Steven, me, C-Jets, all of us have been saying it, that Keandre Miller's biggest flaw is his inconsistency. He has nights where he looks like he belongs on the top pair. Then he has nights where he looks like he just makes peewee hockey mistakes. It's just mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing that you never know what you're getting. Let's see. How does this team look so different one game to the next with their structure, no consistency, and that is on the coaching staff? I would agree, but how many times, like I've been saying throughout the offseason, like I've been saying throughout the course of the season, at what point is it on the players? At what point? We're 3 coaches in. Why is it that we're 3 coaches in and lack of consistency seems to be an issue? I don't get it. I don't get it. And games like this happen before people are like, you can't expect them to go 82-0. You can't expect them to be perfect. But this inconsistency crap is just a problem. And it's way too often where they're taking periods off defensively. And if you don't see it, then sorry, you got to give your head a scratch, because I don't know how you don't see some of the defensive deficiencies with this team at certain points during these games. There's just too many deficiencies, I feel like, from the defense in certain games. Some nights they look like one of the best defensive teams in hockey, and they look like they're poised to, make noise and, go on a run, and then they end up having a stinker or two. It's just like, it's very infuriating. And for people that are going to say they're in first place, stop complaining. I get that they're in first place. I watched the Boston Bruins win the President's Trophy last year and get smacked around by this Florida team. I watched the Tampa Bay Lightning get smacked around by Columbus after winning the President's Trophy a couple seasons ago. Regular season does not always translate. You got to develop good habits. That's the key. And the thing is that I watch teams do this. I watch teams that win cups, what the traits are. And I'm not saying that this team can't have the traits and they can't develop the traits, but they need to shake off the inconsistency at points. They really need to shake the inconsistency, because when they're on their game, they're as good as any of these top teams in the league. The problem is, where's the consistency? Where is it? Where is it? Yep, they relied way too much on the stretch pass and the transition play. Not enough cycling, and Florida just was way better with that. You're not wrong. Florida was so quick to the puck tonight. Defense was careless. Poor offense tonight. They looked like last year's Rangers. Yeah. Against the most aggressive forechecking team, and they still stood with the puck waiting for it to get stripped. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, I've been questioning the mental with this group for a bit now, dating back to last year. But I don't know. They could easily turn things around, but when are we going to start seeing better habits? Yep, they have no finishers really on this team too. That's what's annoying. I'm glad that they let one of them just go to Detroit when he wanted to come back. That was good. Yeah, power play was terrible. The power play was terrible. Yeah, good question, Nick. They let that that make they let that team make their so-called top power play look like absolute garbage. They have to find a way to dump and chase in these scenarios where they clearly aren't going to enter the zone easily. Yeah. Again, you just saw the difference between a team that wanted to compete versus that didn't. The Rangers were just not willing to, you know, actually commit to the forecheck and compete along the boards. It's really that simple. I did like it was very visible the lack of board battle effort from the Rangers tonight. It was very visible. Yeah, that was a frustrating loss. It was. Oh, that game was something. Yep, I have to play Tampa on a back-to-back, and yep, the Islanders and Devils are they're climbing a bit. They are climbing a bit. I'm not too worried about that just yet. Until there's reason to be with the Metro. They're still 9 points up on the Devils. They have a game in hand on the Islanders. They're 7 up on them. I'm not overly concerned yet. I'm not hitting the panic button that much, um, but yeah, they need to control the defensive play. Power play needs to be shaken up a bit. East West never works. Never. It was a lazy game to me. Power play 2 needs to get more opportunities. I could agree with all of that. I think, power play 2, they had some of the better looks on that first power play. If I'm Laviolette, I would have sent them over the boards a little bit more after that. The first power play has been abysmal. And yeah, it was kind of lazy hockey. You're not wrong. Trying to cherry pick and force stretch passes, not willing to work on the boards. Hopefully, John, but there was a lot of mistakes from the defense tonight. You can't really argue that. It's hard to. Yeah, like this is why I said the other night, or it might have been last night. Florida scares me, man. Florida scares me as a team in the East. Yeah, that was an infuriating one. Like guys walk into the zone untouched. Really annoying watching teams bully them with hits and rarely throw the body. Yeah, I'm usually not someone that is like, oh, they need to be physical. They need to, have all this physicality. I'm starting to see it that they need to get some sort of physicality in this lineup. Like the board battle, the lack of competing on the boards just was so disturbing tonight. Yeah, true, but throwing a hit would have been great. No defense, no structure whatsoever. I wanted to see them at least get a point for Quick's efforts. Oh well, tighten up for tomorrow. They'll beat Tampa. Hopefully that last part's true that they'll tighten up and beat Tampa. But yeah, for tonight, you're not wrong. You're right on the point. Yeah, for Jonathan Quick, you got to feel for him. You wish they got the point really for him. I agree that they need to get a right winger, defenseman, and a center. They have a lot of holes, in my opinion, to address at this deadline, underratedly, and especially with Heedle maybe being done for the year. You have to get a center. You have to get a right winger. You have to get a defenseman because there's way too many guys on that blue line that just don't bring it on a night to night basis. I can't agree. I can't agree, Diana. I don't think they were the better team personally. Um, I thought the Rangers just their compete level was just a little too low. But I don't think Florida played their best game either, to tell you the truth. Yeah, Gustafson looks lost at times. Chloe reminds you of Dubinsky. I could see that. Yeah, Tampa's gonna be on a mission tomorrow. Florida kept them on the perimeters. It seemed the few times they made it towards the net, they had their best chances or actually scored. Yep. Yep. You're not wrong. Yeah, I didn't like Fox's game either. And you know what? I know that people are gonna say it's overreactionary. I'm not gonna go as far to say that he should be in the press box, but there are definitely times where Fox needs to sit on the bench for his poor defensive play. If Mike Keenan could do it with Brian Leach back in the day, then Peter Laviolette could do it with Adam Fox at points. Chat's really active tonight. You guys are killing it. Defensive chat, resign Yager. Um, let's see. Sorry, I'm skipping through the comments a bit just to see what we have. There is a lot. Wow. Um, Quick's amazing desperation kick save, getting wasted by a crap defensive effort like this. Do they think they're in Florida for a vacation? Good question, Brody. Very valid question. Yeah, sitting back in a tie game is interesting every time. That yes, they need more rebound type players. I've been saying this all season long too, that there is so many times where goalies will leave rebounds for them and they just don't pounce on the opportunities. Like they need guys that are going to be in front of the net and that are going to capitalize on those rebound chances because like Nick Foligno, by the way, who people are telling me I'm stupid for wanting, but he's that type of guy. He's that type of guy. You need guys that are going to get to the net and bury these rebounds. Yep, Goudreau could have got the puck out too, yeah. Yeah, Kreider does need to be better 5-on-5. Hopefully the Rangers get Lindholm, but Boston's probably going to make a very strong offer themselves. Boston is definitely going to target someone like that because they need a center desperately. And like, you know, they're kind of feeling the void left with Bergeron not being there and then Krejci too. So they're going to need to address that just as much. Yeah, Wheeler's been brutal. Yeah, I agree with this. That Trocheck, I somewhat agree. I think he's been okay at 5v5, but he definitely needs to start hitting the net at points. Like there are way too many times he's missing the net. Thank you, T Rich. I appreciate this. I do my best to be honest. And I know it annoys some people that they think, oh, I'm being too negative. I'm reacting to a game in the moment after it happens and breaking down what happened in the game. I'm not here claiming that this team has no shot and they're dead in the water for the rest of for a decade plus. I'm not here to say that. All I'm doing is just analyzing the game that we watch and pointing out the deficiencies that we've seen, whether it's a continuous habit or whether it is something that I notice in tonight's game that could develop into bad habits. So thank you, Brody. I appreciate that. I appreciate every single one of you guys with the support. I really do appreciate all of your support. You guys are definitely killing it with the channel support this year. I think also the channel name rebrand and everything definitely was the right move. Definitely the right move. Why do I want to talk Mets on here? Ugh. I'll go talk about them on the Mets channel. Let's see. Depends. Do you think we'll have a repeat of tonight, or we'll do what we've done after loss most of the year? I believe in our head coach to get things straightened out. To me, it really depends on what the players do. Like, it depends if the players want to give an effort, because that's really what it's been boiling down to lately. I trust the man behind the bench. My concern's more with the players. Because the difference for me this year versus last year is there's actually spurts of it. Like, there's times where you look at this team and it's different, and you say, wow, this is a Peter Laviolette team. This is a team that really could legitimately compete for a Stanley Cup. And then you see nights like this, or periods in certain nights where it's like, why are we seeing the Gerard Gallant type hockey that we've seen the past few years? We're almost in January. This shouldn't be an adjustment period. I trust the head coach because we've actually seen spurts of them playing good hockey this year, where last year it was just bailed out by goaltending left and right. And it was just sloppy win after sloppy win after sloppy win, and an ugly loss after ugly loss after ugly loss. This year, we're getting the spurts. It's just the fact that, again, the players, it seems to be them, that there's some nights and periods where they just don't show up. And yeah, the shot blocking too. I don't know what happened to that. Definitely a blueprint to beat the Rangers. To an extent. Depends if they play their game, like I said. Love that one. I'm not overreacting. I'm just pointing out the flaws in the game, and that's there's some things that are continuous habits. But yeah, Florida is a good team. You're not wrong. This is the problem, though, Bobby. Is I get that this is what people are going to say, that they're tied for first in the league. So obviously that means they're consistent, but that's not what I'm referring to with consistency, because there are nights where the thing is, here's how I'll put it. I want to see this team develop a identity, a DNA. And the DNA and identity that we saw in October and early November was this team is annoying to play against. They're going to score a couple goals because of their good offense, and they're going to shut it down defensively because of how good they play defensively. But ever since the middle of November, something has smelt funny about the way they've played defensively. Again, you could say they're in first place. You could say that, but look at what happened with Boston. Look at what happened with Tampa. Regular season is a different beast than the playoffs. Two completely different games. And I get we're not in the playoffs. I get it's December, January right now, and I shouldn't be thinking that far ahead, but it's about developing good habits and developing the identity, making it the way that you're going to play throughout the season. Look at what Florida did last year. They snuck into the playoffs, but they stuck to their identity, and look at how far it took them come playoff time because they had those habits that they developed throughout the season. The Islanders, when they went to their back-to-back conference finals, they had habits developed throughout the season. The Barry Trotz system, the DNA of that team, they're going to shut you down defensively. They are going to make your life literally hell. With this team, I don't know if I'm getting a strong defensive effort one night, or if it's going to be a shootout type night, or they're just going to get outright blown out. And I get that, it's a mixed bag in the NHL in general, and you don't know. It's hard to stay consistent throughout the entire season and play that way all 82. But it's just for the past month or two, it's been a thing that they have just, it's been a mixed bag way too often, in my opinion. But that's just me. That's just me. Should get Lindholm a defenseman. I agree. I'd like Lindholm and Tanev in a package type deal if that's obtainable. I would like that. Hopefully not, Nicole. Hopefully not. Yeah, Trouba was brutal. Uh, yeah, LA and Florida get the fewest high danger chances. Go check 2 goals in 18 seconds. Can't make it up. Yep. Yeah, Edstrom needs to get in the lineup. Nick Bonino could. That's a good call. I forgot about Big Ed being called up. Get him in the lineup now. Get him in the lineup tomorrow, I should say. Get him in the lineup tomorrow because Nick Bonino has been terrible lately. I don't know if it's Fox being hurt still. Like, we're a month removed at this point of the injury. We're a month removed at this point. And to me, it's not speed that's yeah, he's getting beat a couple times in flat footed, but there are times too he's just not making the best decisions with the puck either, like we normally see from him. Wheeler skates like the Tin Man. Okay. All right. All right. If Trouba liked the effort tonight, okay. Okay. Sure. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. That's fantastic. Yeah, it's a shame Trocheck misses the net. He's one of the better players. You're not wrong. Apparently, I do a good Trouba voice. Do I try it out for you guys? Yeah, I thought we had a good effort tonight. Just we want to get back to our game a little bit. Thought we were a little loose at points in the game, but we stuck with it. Sucks we could get the point for Johnny, but we'll be back at it tomorrow and give a better effort and go win a hockey game. And I'll go do some art when I get home. Anyway, yeah, hopefully the inconsistency flushes away. Please keep giving it to us straight. We are not here for sugarcoating. I appreciate that, Steven. That I do my best to keep it real. I do my best. Yeah, I haven't liked the fourth line matched up a lot against some of these top lines. I feel like they get beat sometimes. The broadcast said that they talked to Paul Maurice about the team being learned going to the or the team learning going to the cup finals, not the conference finals. You're better than this. They went to the cup finals. The cup finals, and he said it's playing a complete full 60 minutes, hard and consistent. The Rangers haven't shown it. Ding, 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 ding. Bad game. Have some things to fix. Yeah. I don't know what the asking price would be for Lindholm. That's the issue. I really am not sure. Yeah, they need more bottom six help too. Nice true impression. Thank you. I'm gonna actually go. I'm gonna go back home and maybe draw some paint about the effort tonight and how good it was. Draw a couple plays. Take my anger out on the canvas and jump into the canvas for some more art. And if you didn't know, my wife happens to be a doctor. Still like the paint, and we'll be back at it next game. Just we gotta have the number one tool going into next game, and that tool is good attitude. And as long as we have a good attitude during our game, we'll we should find a way to win. I believe in our group. A lot of their goals of late have actually came 5-on-5 for a change. It would be nice if they could keep it up defensively as well. Yeah. Yeah. And if the power play could get going a bit too. They called Edstrom up. They're just not playing him for some reason. Because apparently Nick Bonino is the more ideal option. Apparently. Christ Kreider's powers for not showing tonight. Oh my god. Christ Kreider. We can never let Mark down for that one. Christ Kreider is the craziest thing. If we don't win the faceoff on the power play, it's not even worth watching. They don't get back in the zone. Yeah, you nailed that, to be honest. That's a fair way of putting it. Sorry, I'm just overthinking this. I got a new tat the other night, and I'm scared of like blood spilling, so I'm a little paranoid about that. I apologize. That's why I'm getting distracted. But they'll probably play Edstrom tomorrow. I don't know if they will. If they really feel they had a good effort tonight, I don't foresee Edstrom playing tomorrow, to be honest with you. But I think it would make sense anyway, you know? Like, you're playing a back-to-back, why not get one fresh body in there outside of your goalie who's going to be in? Why don't you just get another fresh body in? I think that would be a smart idea. So, it's probably why it won't happen. Unfortunately. But all right, I'm going to wrap things up. We're approaching the hour mark here. I really do appreciate every single one of you guys who tuned in for another post game here on the channel. And yeah, we're at 25 likes again. Let's see if we can get to 50 on this. We are very, very close to 1.9K subs. We're actually one away. We are very, very close as well to 2K subscribers. So let's hope we can hit that soon. Don't forget as well to turn on your notifications if you have not already, so you know when I upload or go live on the channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys tomorrow night. Let's go, Rangers.